Directing and the method. Throughout the course, I've pointed out where the work of directors and teachers directly interconnect with learning and using the method exercises. There's a similarity in the roles of director and teacher. Both are trying to improve the actor's ability to deliver exactly and reliably what the part calls for. It is of significant value for the actor to understand as much as possible about directing and teaching. Actors are their own directors during training and through their whole careers, when they're rehearsing with their scene partners, or on their own. Actors are their own teachers, as they choose exercises and evaluate their work. In addition, many actors have expanded their careers to include teaching and directing. Lee Strasberg's work, as it evolved from the ideas and philosophies of Stanislavski, Vakhtangov, Meyerhold and others, was put into practice front and center on the active New York City stage, with the iconic productions of the group theater, 1931 to 1940. The group theater worked and experimented with the Stanislavski system, using its tremendous vitality and dynamism to great acclaim, and they left an indelible mark on the American theater. The plays mounted by the group theater mirrored the social and political upheaval of the 1930s from a progressive, political perspective. They broke theatrical ground and introduced new playwrights, actors, and directors, educating and inspiring audiences by changing and influencing people's hearts and minds. The group theater production of Men in White, written by Sidney Kingsley and directed by Lee Strasberg, won a Pulitzer Prize. Lee Strasberg directed or co-directed over 20 plays, always honing his skills as a master teacher and director. He experienced success and failure, and he staged productions in different styles and genres, copying and building on the work of directors who influenced him, but also adding his own stamp and originality. Strasberg told us that he learned more from his failures, and he spoke of how important it is to rectify your mistakes, or you'll have a faulty technique. After the group theater disbanded, Strasberg furthered the connection between the method and directing with his founding of the Directors Unit at the Actors Studio in New York City in 1960. Strasberg systemized and formalized how the method exercises could contribute to the directing process. He instituted and taught a directors unit at the Lee Strasberg Theatre and Film Institute in New York and Los Angeles until his death in 1982, and this work continues to be taught at the institute. The creating of a system for directors to apply the method was groundbreaking in America. There have been books about directing by accomplished directors addressing their own technique, and what they did or didn't do in any of their productions. Much of the material may be excellent and inspirational, or it may demonstrate creative decisions. However, it doesn't constitute a technique for directing. Knowing the highlights of what someone else did doesn't provide a repeatable procedure or process to follow for those who want to learn the craft. Lee Strasberg's teachings demonstrate how the method can interface with each director's own artistry and styles. Strasberg in his directors unit would urge directors to equip themselves by learning and practicing the method exercises. Strasberg added that history shows that the best directors often come from an acting background. A driving sense of purpose is essential for high achievement as an artist. This can be gained through learning and practicing the exercises, which will shape your personal aesthetic and ingenuity. You present a broader, more sophisticated view of the world, which feeds your directing choices and your soul. The exercises propel you into thought and action, not just static images or visualizations in the mind. Directors need to see all their efforts coalesce to reveal the event clearly and dramatically. Our training helps the director unearth the character's psychology to discover what types of behavior would be suitable in keeping with the intent of the playwright. Strasberg told us that it's essential for the director to know every conceivable aspect of the production by undertaking meticulous research regarding the story, its themes, historical context, place, style, and the psychology of every character. It must be crystal clear to the director what the author is trying to say to the world with his work. Knowledge of the method exercises enables the director to increase their powers of observation by experiencing the place and sensory atmosphere of each scene. The director chooses what they believe will contribute to the heightening of emotions consistent with the given circumstances, character spines, logic, era, and milieu of the production. Utilizing the exercises can make an emotional and physical connection and intensify the drama. Not every actor or audience member has the same intellectual capacity to grasp meanings and metaphors, and it's the director's job to know clearly what those meanings are and communicate them to each actor. What will always be needed by the director is an eternal spring of creative discoveries, intuitions, and ideas that can contribute power to the production. A director should have knowledge of all styles of theatre. Directing in different genres and invoking a wide range of stories with various rhythms and tones strengthens your flexibility. Your vision and cultural statement must incorporate the varying styles of staging, language, imagination, and behaviors, whether the theatrical style is naturalism, classical, expressionism, realism, epic, absurdism, modernism, postmodernism, or theatre of cruelty. You want to be able to go from one to the other in the same way you may go from comedic to tragic. The method works equally well for any style of theatre. Sometimes it's wrongly assumed that because the method is humanistic in its approach, it's most associated with naturalism or realism. The exercises that functioned well will become part of your repertoire to inspire a specific quality or reality in any style of theatre. Strasberg would ask us to go further than ordinary reality, emphasizing that the stage isn't life, it's bigger than life, meaning that the acting cannot be casual or natural, but should be theatrical. We need a heightened reality on the stage to connect emotionally with the audience. The energy and emotions can be intensified by the sensory work that makes for a more expressive instrument and creates a compelling reality. By becoming more responsive and sensorially aware, the director is better able to digest the given circumstances, surmise subtext and beats where dramatic shifts in energy, pacing, or tempo occur, and use it to move the story along. The various guides provided here will aid the director in exploring character personalities and behaviors, as well as set design and musical choices. The director is the primary force of the production, and should provide literary, cultural, and artistic insights to the actors, illuminating the written material. Directors can actually fill out the character guide for each character, and use any information available from the script, the playwright's notes, and stage directions. That information will give you a clear and accurate sense of the characters, in light of the author's given circumstances. Strasberg told his directors unit that the set is not a mere background for the eye, but the foundation upon which the play is launched, and it can make or break a production. The painting, private moment for the character, and place exercises can provide ideas for envisioning characters, and where the action will take place in terms of each specific sensory detail, place and decor, inside-outside views, weather, lighting, sounds and music. A work of art can be used for inspiration in establishing the atmosphere, historic and cultural contexts, set, lighting, and costume design. Selecting an artwork to use in the painting exercise will give you ideas to determine how the staging and blocking of the actors will occur. Your idea of the set must embody and support your vision for the play. Strasberg taught us that the master painters offer the director infinite opportunities to use lighting creatively. Observing the work of Goya, Rembrandt, and Giotto teach us lighting techniques and effect. The Impressionists were great innovators in using the senses to convey atmosphere and emotions. For example, in their work, lighting is integrated with the emotional and physical reality of each moment, enhancing the drama, facilitating changes in time, and defining spaces on stage and off. Learning how light illuminates your production is aided by paintings, studying sculptures, tapestries, ceramics, and photographs from different cultures and periods in history. The music exercise can help create the atmosphere or mood and set the tone and psychological intensity for the production. It can be used to emphasize action, intimacy, the passage of time, the season, herald and foreshadow events, or be used to repeat a theme or as background. Music adds meaning and is deeply ingrained in our lives emotionally, spiritually, and physically. We compose and play music, dance, listen, sing, pray, and react to it in innumerable ways. For directors, whether their cast is method-trained or not, the relaxation or other exercises help the actors enter into the creative mood. The exercises provide a concrete way for the director to explore and solve problems when they arise. Through precise and detailed exploration of each sense, the director can communicate with the actors to mold individual performances and scenes into a cohesive, moving production. For example, by practicing a place exercise, the director can create the style, look, and feel of things through each sense and help actors respond to it. The substitution exercise can help identify character personalities and their psychology, emotions, and behavior. The emotional memory exercise, in the director's hands, can provide a powerful jolt of recognition and inspiration for actors rehearsing their parts. The director should be knowledgeable about this exercise and how it works to get actors to go deeper emotionally, if needed. An emotional memory can help you form the context for your interpretation of the script. The animal exercise can transform a character's personality and help define how they interact with others. The exercise will awaken the senses to the deep connections and associations humans have with animals. Reference can be made to the animal exercise guide for ideas to develop the character's physicality, nonverbal expression of emotion, or vocal qualities. For example, in Tennessee Williams' Cat on Hot Tin Roof, the author's note for Big Mama describes her as huffing and puffing like an old bulldog, short, stout, and somewhat breathless most of the time, and Maggie is cat-like. In Chekhov's The Bear, Smirnoff in his verbal jousting with Popova describes women, in their souls, as crocodiles, or perhaps reptiles, and in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, Bottom is an ass. The need exercise can be invaluable for the director to see how the actors interact with each other. Actors open up to physical and emotional possibilities for their characters' motivations, behaviors, and transitions. The exercise establishes the characters' needs within the subtext of the story, and these become building blocks for directors. Harold Clurman, in his book on acting, recounts a classic story that highlights the idea of the importance of vision for a production. The situation described is in the 17th century salon of playwright Jean Racine, who is described as being in an elated frame of mind. Racine is asked by a guest why he is so elated, and Racine responds, with classic French aristocratic wit, that he is elated because he's just finished his newest play. In the midst of courtly approbation, Racine adds that all he now has to do is write the dialogue. Insights and a practical grasp of spines reveal human archetypes, be they villain, mother, hero, scapegoat, fool, or magician, available to the director for character development. Distilling a character can be imagined and created by deciding on a concise spine for each character and the entire production. Clurman was masterly in capturing the essence of any production by finding the spine. The wording and images reflect Clurman's method approach, and they have an artful brevity, beauty, and poignancy. Clurman describes each of the characters' inner needs in his notes. His one-line characterizations use psychology and poetic imagery to create the character's spine. Finding and defining the inner content of the story is the director's work. The staging of the production flows from this process. Depending upon each individual's ability or openness to working with the method, knowing the exercises is a pathway to communicate clearly, to motivate actors and help them overcome obstacles. Directors must be sensitive and give great care to the way they talk to actors, unlike the director who says go and relax, without suggesting how to help the actor do it. If the director tells an actor to act angry, this is a limiting direction, as it relies on only one emotional note. If the actor knows in advance that the director wants anger, it will likely stifle the actor and move him toward a mechanical, phony expression of anger. The clichés of anger, such as yelling, banging a table, punching the wall, or glaring glances, can be even worse, because using the cliché sets up a style of acting that can permeate the whole production and spawn disinterest and distrust from the audience. Directors can get good results by asking actors to try using their own lives and experiences to create the desired value. Strasberg advised that directors must get the actors to become alive on the stage and not just make believe or fake things, but to think and to really feel. You can't teach an actor the exercises while in production, but you can light a fire in their imaginations by asking them guiding questions to activate the senses and emotions. There may be a time when the director might ask the actor, imagine if your long-lost lover, who broke your heart, was standing in front of you right now. Or describe how you feel toward the person who gave you your greatest success. The question is geared to evoking the actual sensations you're seeking, which is the point of the method exercises. Even if the actors don't know the method way of working, exercises can be suggested that might improve their performances. It is wise for directors to encourage actors to share their insights as they search for the truth and meaning of the play. The director should provide a safe environment in which actors feel they can experiment. Shared knowledge of the exercises in the course creates a common ground, and the likely result is a more productive exchange of ideas, in which solutions to problems can be discovered. It's up to the director to recognize when an actor can contribute certain values to the play, and the director might suggest adjustments that will help his actors nurture those values. It's the unexpected that makes a performance great, and the director must allow for the contributions of the actors. When the director encounters an actor's mannerism or habits taking over, and the actor is doing things completely unconsciously, the director should intervene and be vigilant in addressing that problem. For example, when actors are oblivious of looking down or crossing their arms, jiggling their fingers, touching their hair, swaying, sighing, pacing, or any other habitual behavior, it falls on the director to address it. The director explains why the actor must be free of habits that can interfere with the expression of the needs and spine of the character. Since the habit, by definition, is unconscious, it works directly against the goals of the method, which promotes consciously chosen behavior that fits the role. Why should the character be limited by the actor's own habits? When the actor's arms are crossed, unconsciously, it may be a problem if they're locked in that fixed position most of the time. Impulses may be thwarted. The hands and arms are expressive tools for an actor, and if they are always crossed and static, they're not available for other activities. Even when the arm crossing is a specific choice for the character, if it's done too often, the meaning of the gesture is lost. To me, the actor crossing his arms is silently conveying aloofness, arrogance, being closed off, showing an inaccessibility, saying, by deed, stay away. In life we do cross our arms now and then. It's a comfortable position, and it may also be communicating something standoffish. It's fine to do on stage occasionally, unless it becomes a mannerism, or an indication of cliched behavior repeated unconsciously. One of the problems with habits for film or television actors is the degree of magnification. While swaying back and forth or standing with arms crossed may be visible on stage, certain, smaller habitual behaviors, such as facial expressions or tics, may not be. However, on screen, in close-up shots, more is revealed, and the elimination of these habits should be dealt with, not only for how it might look or might distract an audience, but also for how it can thwart an actor's natural expressiveness. When actors are first made aware of a habit, they usually resist accepting the fact that they actually even have it. Eventually, they are made to realize it, but it often takes the other actors to confirm that, yes, they are always doing it. Invariably, they are shocked, and later, astonished at the freeing effect that arises when the habit is broken. A sense of accomplishment and confidence is earned by getting one's habits under control. The longer you've had the habit, the longer it will take to eliminate it. Commenting on actors' habits is not a personal criticism, but help for them to grow as artists. By applying the exercises, the director can form a rich tapestry of images and ideas to inspire themselves, the actors, and the entire production.